Welcome to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm Lisa Workman with the Fergus Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. Well, I think spring is here, at least we hope it is here, and with that comes the Veterans Walk of Flags. Tammy Gerhardson and Tony Renz will be joining us. They're on the board and chief volunteers for the Veterans Walk of Flags. So we're going to hear a little bit more about that as their season opens up on May 21st. On Armed Forces Day. A lot of things going on in the month of May, especially with the Chamber of Commerce. Coming up on May 11th is a brand new event and celebration with the Fergus Falls High School. The Fergus Falls Chamber is partnering with the high school, the seniors, for their senior showcase, and we are going to be recognizing them with signing day. So you'll be able to tune into PRTV to watch this a little later on, but we are going to recognize and celebrate those students for their 13 years of education in Fergus Falls, as well as congratulate them and wish them well on whatever those next steps are for them. So May 11th is signing day with Fergus Falls High School and the Fergus Falls Chamber. And then the next day on May 12th, we've got a lot of great stuff going on. We're going to start the day off with Chamber Cafe at Fergus Home and Hardware. The event starts at 7:30 in the morning. We are going to be upstairs in their furniture gallery. They'll be providing breakfast with Fresh and Fancy with Mama Sheena, so that's going to be awesome. Don't worry, if you can't do stairs, they also have an elevator at Fergus Home and Hardware, so that'll be kind of a fun thing too that, maybe you didn't know that they had an elevator there. But join us on Thursday, May 12th at 7:30 in the morning for Chamber Cafe at Fergus Home and Hardware. And then later that day at 11 o'clock, we are going to be celebrating the groundbreaking of a brand new facility for Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union. Their new location will be right next to Fleet Farm in Fergus Falls, and there'll be signs. You'll see the big excavator there. We'll have the golden shovels, and we invite you to come celebrate with them as they start construction on their Fergus Falls location for Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union. Again, that'll be at 11 o'clock on Thursday, May 12th, and I guarantee there will be some treats and goodies there for you as well. And then one of the last events coming up that I'm looking forward to a whole lot is the Fergus Falls Craft Beer Tour. Fergus Falls Chamber is partnering with Leighton Broadcasting and a number of different vendors, as well as craft breweries and cideries. You'll get all the samples that you want on Saturday, May 21st from 1 until 5 p.m. Pick up your tickets in advance. You can pick them up at Leighton Broadcasting or at Builder's First Source. And again, the craft beer tour, Saturday, May 21st. You're going to want to mark that on your calendar and make sure that you get some plans to attend that. Well, stay tuned. We're going to be visiting with Tammy Gerhardson and Tony Renz on the Veterans Walk Flags.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm joined now by volunteers extraordinaire, Tammy Gerhardson and Tony Renz with the Veterans Walk of Flags. Always a sure sign of spring when we start getting this schedule out for when the flags will go up, and of course starting to talk about volunteers. So welcome to the show and thank you for your dedication to the Veterans Walk of Flags. This has been a fantastic showing of patriotism for so many years. So Tammy, tell us a little bit about your role with the Veterans Walk of Flags.
Well, my dad has a flag. His flag is down at NP Park, and so I've always been interested in the flags. And then when we moved into our house 13 years ago, Kurt Bergerson was the president at that time, and he lived across the alley from me. So I got to talking to him about it, and I went and helped him with the flags, and then he asked me if I wanted to be on the board, and I said sure. And then, I don't know, this was probably 10 years ago now, and then recently he resigned, and since I was vice president, I got moved up to being the president, which it's not a big deal because I just depend on all the board members to help me with everything that needs to be done, so.
And it's really, there's a lot of work that happens kind of that behind the scenes
Yeah.
For the Veterans Walk of Flags, which has been around. Perry Sheldon started it in 2002. Tony, you want to talk a little bit about the beginning and how it all started and all that kind of good stuff?
Perry Sheldon, by the way, I graduated with his son Jay, class of 1975, Go Otters, was somewhere in, I believe, Iowa in 2001, and he saw a community had done a nice little display of the flags, and Perry thought, well, shoot, that's something we could do up here in Fergus. So he got back, and him and Stan Morrow were having coffee or whatever, however that all came about, and they said, hey, Perry told Stan about this little deal, and he said, well, we should do something like that right here. So they did. They got the ball rolling and did the initial, I believe it was 100 flags maybe, just for starters, down there in Veterans Memorial Park. I still call it behind the old shop cove, over by the VFW, kind of in that area, behind the fire hall. And it has expanded and exploded to, in a good way, to we're up to like 1,922 flags now.
Wow.
Including mine. I finally got mine last year, but my story, very similar to Tammy's, is, you know, I believe it was Jim Fish. You know, I would see the crew out putting the flags out, and when I was on the way to somewhere else, and I finally said, Jim mentioned it to me at the golf course, and I thought, you know what, that's something you know, being a retired Air Force, I said, I can really, you know, sink my teeth into that. So Dave Whipple and Vivian Whipple recruited me to come down and help one time, and I was hooked. It was so much fun and really enjoyed it. And when they're all up, it's just an amazing display, as you guys all know.
It is a very impressive display, and like you said, you know, you both were asked by someone else to help and to volunteer, but you don't have to wait to be asked to volunteer. So
No.
that's what the nice thing is that you can show up. This year, due to weather, the first display will be on May 21st for Armed Forces Day. And folks can, Tammy, tell us a little bit about how folks can volunteer and how they can help, because I know that anyone who has seen this is it's such a moving display, and so many people probably think, yeah, I could help with that, and really it is. It's a simple way to help, and it doesn't even take a whole lot of skill, because I've done it. So, and people can be trained pretty easily.
Well, we have 4 trailers that start out in actually 3 different areas of town. And if volunteers call me, I always tell them that you can either come down to see, I'm on the trailer that's on Freiburg Avenue, starts behind Carlson Chiropractor. You can either come down and see me and we'll show you the ropes, on the job training, or there's 2 trailers that start on Wright Park, right across from Holiday Gas.
Right.
And they take off in different directions, and it seems like they are always short of volunteers. And so I send volunteers down there, and I say, just talk to either the driver of the truck or the person inside the trailer, tell them that you're new, and they will give you on-the-job training. It's pretty easy. There's a tag on every flagpole, and it corresponds with the number that's on the ground, so your flag will always be in the same place every time. And if we can get 10 to 12 volunteers on each trailer, it takes about an hour, and that's at 7:20 in the morning is generally when we get started, and then we take them down at 4:30. And yeah, it's easy. When there isn't enough help on a trailer, then us from the other trailer go over there and help them, and we get her done. Sometimes it takes a little longer, and sometimes it's quick, but we get her done. Tony is a great person to recruit a soccer team or a football team or something like that. So, yeah.
Great project, whether, like you said, the younger kids, as you mentioned, if they're sports teams, really anyone can help in some way. You know, the really little ones, that's maybe not the best, but,
Yeah.
you know, 10, 12 years old and older, they're old enough to help out, and it can be a family, it can be a youth group, you name it, you can show up and literally just show up that day. I
Yeah.
recommend like garden gloves.
I have noticed that gloves do help, especially if it's still gonna be nice and cool out.
Yep.
Because those metal poles are cold.
Yep.
And it protects you a little bit from the goose stuff.
Goose decorations.
Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned too, every flag, and I think this is one thing that makes this so special, every flag has been dedicated to someone.
Yes, they've all been, what's the word? Anyway, someone
Dedicated.
dedicated,
That's
I
a
guess
good
is a
word.
good
Purchased
word.
in their name or in
Yes.
their honor or in
Yes,
recognition
yep.
of them.
And on the flagpole itself, there's a tag and it lists the name, the service, rank, that branch of service that they were in,
Yep.
and the flag number. And so, and now this, well, in the last couple of years, our flag capacity is full. We
Right.
can't really take on any more new flags because we just don't feel like we have the manpower. We don't have the trailer for them. So what we've started in the last few years is we can, people can add a second name to a tag. Like, say your grandpa has a flag and say your son is also in the military, you can add son's name to grandpa's flag or something like
that's
that for $50. And so it's a way of still being able to honor a veteran even though we don't have new flags available.
Right. Yeah, because it
So-
does take a lot of work on the, spread amongst a number of volunteers. But also, like you said, you've got 4 big cargo trailers
Yeah.
that are being, towed by other volunteers. And, of course, then too, you've got the flag, making sure the flags are in good shape every year.
And
getting them out
the
there.
big thing that people really don't realize is maintenance of the holes. Because back in the day, it hasn't really happened much in the last couple of years, but back in the day, a day or two before every flag event, the drivers of those 4 trucks would go out and clean every single hole as
Wow.
part of their, there's probably about approximately 500 flags in each trailer. So they would go out and look at 500 holes and either dig out the mud or weed whip them or something like that people don't really realize also needs to be done.
Right.
And it's kind of been neglected in the last year or so, and you can really tell when you're putting a flag out and it's full of mud.
Yeah, they don't go in quite so easy.
No, they
So,
don't go in
and
quite
that's
as-
another
oh.
area that would be available for volunteers too. If maybe the flag schedule doesn't work out for them, maybe they could get in contact with you and say, well, I'd be happy to go out there with my weed whipper.
Well, that would
and-
be wonderful.
Yeah, so folks can do that too.
What I do, I'm on the same crew as Tammy, and I haven't said much yet, so I figured.
I know, it's time for you to talk to us. I'll
People
shut
going,
up.
What is wrong with him?
I know.
But, yeah, the maintenance of I believe they're called pavers, just like we have the pavers at the Veterans Memorial Park, but they're the concrete circular pad about the size of a basketball, go otters, and cut in half, set in cement in the ground, and then the Teflon, the pole goes in there, but, so if you see me up and down Freiburg Avenue, they say, what is that guy doing?
He's not looking for a lost penny.
No, I'm looking, did you drop a dime? No, I got a dime, I'm good. But, we're making sure, and the numbers are sometimes hard to read, so sometimes what we've done is, I've taken a wooden lath and probably written the number, find the number, and then you have to count your way back, and eventually our plan is to try to get all of those looking really good and stuff. But yeah, it takes a little bit of time to do that and stuff, and
One of our board members is working on that right now, if the weather would ever
I
cooperate.
know.
That has
He
been a
wants to-
challenge.
He wants to redo all of the flags that are on Summit Avenue, because you can't read them anymore.
Yeah, well,
That's
time.
challenging.
It's
Freiburg
been,
or-
again, it's been going on since 2002, so many
20
years. 20
20
years.
years.
20 years.
Yeah.
in
Talk about your
fact.
cap.
In fact, I'm here modeling our brand new cap, and these are beautiful hats. Everybody will apologize
You
for
can
that.
call right now to order one of these caps.
You want
Amazing.
10? You want 10 hats? Okay, good. Bye. See you. Talk to you later. Bye. But they got our beautiful. You can see, done a wonderful job with that. They look really sharp. And then they got the 20th anniversary. We're promoting that hot and heavy, and very excited about that.
Yeah.
To coincide with Fergus's 150th anniversary.
Which is
and-
fantastic.
And we're piggybacking on that, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, and again, it takes a great team, so thank you to you guys as volunteers and being on the board of directors and willingly serving as president. But again, it takes a lot of volunteers, and so Tammy, what's the number of folks can get in touch with you if they have questions about volunteering or being a part of it?
218-731-2450.
And there's also a Facebook page where folks can follow along, see what the dates are that are coming up, see if there's a weather forecast that is changing, whether the flags will be put out or not, because if it's windy or rainy, it's not good to put them out because it is
No, we don't
it's
put
not
them out.
appropriate.
No.
And it's also harmful to the flags then too. So if
Yeah.
there's a holiday that comes around and people are wondering where the flags are, it's usually a weather related issue. But again, follow along on that Facebook page because that way you can find out if the flags are going up for certain or not. You guys don't go out and call all the volunteers. That's one thing too that we should let people know. You don't need to sign up, you need to show up. Show up ready to work.
We, Lana is one of our volunteers, and she does have a list of volunteers that she calls faithfully every flag day, or the day before, I should say, and lets them know. And so she has her list. I have a small list of people that I text the day or two before to remind them. If anyone wants to be on the text list, I will gladly add their name, just as a short little reminder. But no, we do not call every single volunteer because most of the time we don't know who our volunteers are going to be or who's going to show up. And you don't have to sign up first. You don't have to, say I will be there on this day. You just come when you can.
Right, so as a reminder, the best thing to do is on the days, and they are, many of the patriotic holidays, starting with Armed Forces Day, May 21st, again, not doing Loyalty Day this year just due to the weather. Darn weather, this winter that doesn't end. But, and you can also check the Chamber's calendar of events because we will have these posted on our calendar as well. But really, show up at holiday about 7:10, 7:15, ready to go. Don't be in your nice clothes, just.
No, that's another thing.
You know.
Don't wear sandals.
That's a good thing, yep.
I will normally dress like I'm going out to feed the hogs and stuff.
Yeah.
I have my,
It's not a
they
clean
call
job.
them muck boots and
Yeah.
stuff like on a day like today. But
Yeah.
I'd just like to say real quick, thanks to Lisa and Emily and Bobby Sue, of course, from PRTL TV. You guys have, the last year, we've kind of reconnected and reestablished a relationship to push and promote this, and it's greatly appreciated. Quick shout out to all my Otter and Spartan sports teams who have shown up in the past, and Ben, you will be there again, and other than that, no, it's a community thing. Mayor Ben Shire brings his whole family down there on many occasions to help us out with that, and the list just goes on and on. I could be here all day talking about the people that help us. So
It's
that is
absolutely
greatly
fantastic.
appreciated.
Yeah, and again, it's 7, be there about 7:10, 7:15 in the morning, right by Holiday at Wright Park, and be ready to go. And then again in the afternoons, you guys typically take them down about 4:30 in the afternoon, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our drivers will have a bunch of these schedules in their trailers, and I encourage them to hand them out to everyone so you can plop it on your refrigerator or whatever.
Yep.
So,
It's fantastic. Well, congratulations, 20th anniversary. Just such a moving display. And thank you to you guys and all the hard work that you do to make Veterans Walk flags here in Fergus Falls such a fabulous, fabulous part of our community.
well, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Lisa.
bet.
Ladies, appreciate it.
You bet. We'll be back after a little break.
I'm Caroline Gustafson, Lake Region Run Director, with the top 5 reasons to join us this year. 1. There's distances for everyone. 2. Beautiful location. Start and finish at Dr. Allen Magnuson Park. 3. Live entertainment. 4 is for the 4th of June. And 5. All proceeds are donated to the Lake Region Healthcare Cancer Center. Sign up today and learn more at lakeregionrun.com.
A special thanks to Leighton Broadcasting, Otter Tail Power Company, Service Foods, and Fergus Falls Chiropractic. Don't miss the Lake Region Run 2022.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Find It in Fergus Falls today. If you want more details on the Veterans Walk of Flags, how to volunteer, and the dates that those The patriotic display will be in Fergus Falls. You can check out the Chamber's website at fergusfalls.com. You can go to our events calendar to find out details about all the great events, whether it's days of for the Veterans Walk of Flags, if you want to find out details about Chamber Cafe, the craft beer tour. Boy, that weekend in May, the May 20th and 21st weekend, there'll be the Festival of Quilts in Fergus Falls, a Cuckoo Kangaroo Kids concert on Friday, craft beer tour on Saturday, and the Sertoma Fishing Extravaganza on May 21st. Again, so many things going on. Check out the Chamber's website at fergusfalls.com and click out the events calendar to get all the details. I'm Lisa Workman. This has been Find It in Fergus Falls, and we will see you again next week.